The Boy Who Couldn't Wait. Venki Mama was one cool uncle. For one, he wore bell-bottom trousers like the film stars.
Your legs look like they are wearing skirts,
Grumbled Ajay.
Fashion, Amma.
Said Venki Mama.
There's enough cloth around your ankles to stitch another pair of trousers.
Said Ajja.
Enough for a pair of bell-bottoms for me.
Wondered Raghu with longing but didn't dare ask. Venki Mama presided over headquarters, which was what Raghu's father called the grand old house belonging to Ajji Ajja, Raghu's maternal grandparents. It was in a village with farmlands all around and plenty of places to play. This was where all the grandchildren of Ajji Ajja spent their summer vacations. For 2 months, Venki Mama was the Pied Piper to his nieces and nephews. And as if to underscore how cool he was, Venki Mama had just installed a shower in the bathroom. Behind the bathroom was the cowshed, and the outer wall of the bathroom had a tap for cowshed-related use. Venki Mama had cleverly added an attachment and drawn another pipe from there to the bathroom. To the end of the pipe he had fixed an old tin can with holes in it, and that served as the shower head. Venki Mama operated the lever next to the shower head to control the water flow. Raghu gazed open-mouthed. The spray felt like rain on his outstretched fingers.
Please, can I use the shower tomorrow?
Begged Raghu.
We'll see.
Said Venki Mama.
Next month, perhaps, if you've been on good behavior.
Raghu pouted. Ajji, who was passing by, stroked Raghu's cheeks.
Why worry? This shower thing sprays only cold water, and the water stops the moment the cowshed tap is turned on. Useless. A nice hot bucket bath is not good enough for this Venki. What fancies the young people of these days have. In our time...
But Raghu was distracted as Venki Mama nonchalantly fished out a comb from the back pocket of his pants and ran it through his forelocks in one single elegant sweep backwards. Raghu sighed. What style! He must try it out when nobody was looking.
Let's go to the river, Venki Mama.
Said Raghu.
Adults don't have summer vacations.
Said Venki Mama.
I have work in the market. I'll be back by lunch.
Venki Mama away at work. Amma busy with Ajji. Ajja in his office. And one whole day until his cousins arrived. Ugh! What would Raghu do all alone? He darted in and out of the rooms. He bounced on rolled-up mattresses. He tried to clamber onto the tiled roof. He hurtled into the kitchen and almost ran into the pot of huli boiling on the stove and was shouted at by Ajji. He stuck his fingers in a jar of mango pickle and had his wrist thwacked by Amma. He swung like a monkey on the line of washing in the backyard and was scolded by Ajja. He peered into the well. He used to have so much fun throwing things into the well, counting the seconds they took to fall, observing how fast each object sunk, tricking his younger cousins to toss things in, and then watching them get into trouble. They had installed a mesh door now on the mouth of the well with a lock and everything. He contented himself with pushing in sticks and stones into the gaps in the wire mesh. Not as much fun. Oh, what could he do? Lunchtime finally came around, and with it, Venki Mama. Raghu wolfed down the heap of steaming rice on his banana leaf topped with halsankai huli. He demanded more pieces of the raw jackfruit until he felt sure his belly would burst. He could barely finish the curd rice with the pickle that he had tried to pilfer earlier. The moment Venki Mama finished his last morsel, Raghu was upon him.
The river! Venki Mama now!
Too hot.
Said Venki Mama, scratching his belly and yawning loudly.
It's not.
Said Raghu.
There are trees next to the river. It'll be shady. Let's go.
Tell you what,
Said Venki Mama.
I'll take a nap now. You can wake me up at 4 and I'll take you to the river.
4. Raghu glanced at the clock that hung just outside the kitchen. It was only 1:30 now. Within moments, the house was cloaked in silence.
You come and sleep too, Raghu.
Called Ajji. Raghu, an afternoon nap? High hopes, said Amma. Raghu lay down next to Ajji just to defy Amma. But he couldn't sleep. He got up. He briefly considered going to the river on his own, but it was across the highway and he knew how rashly the bus drivers drove. He twiddled his thumbs. He counted the rafters. He followed ants to their home and destroyed it. He looked at the clock. He watched the cows chew cud. He tried to tickle one with a stalk of hay. It snorted, and he fell backwards in alarm. He looked at the clock. He climbed the cashew nut tree. He skinned his knee. He looked at the clock. Still 2:30. He watched the clouds. He cursed his aunts for not arriving today itself and bringing his cousins. He looked at the clock. 2:45. Ugh! If only he could make the hands of the clock move faster. Brilliant idea! Raghu found a tall stool and half carried, half dragged it to the clock. He stood on it, opened the glass covering of the clock, which swung outwards on hinges, and moved the hands of the clock to 4. They moved quite easily, with a pleasing click-click sound. Job completed, Raghu knocked on Venki Mama's room.
Mama, it's 4.
With a lot of grumbling and,
So soon?
Venki Mama came to the door. Raghu dutifully pointed to the clock and Venki Mama peered at it sleepily. He rubbed his eyes and glanced at the shaft of light coming in through an open window. He frowned, ducked into his room and came back with a small square box which he opened. A watch? Wow! Venki Mama had oh! Venki Mama looked at the watch and then at Raghu's face. Raghu's cheeks burned.
Smart,
Said Venki Mama.
but not smart enough. Also, patience is more important than smartness. No river for you today. You'll have to wait until tomorrow.
Raghu was hair-tearingly, skin-scratchingly, foot-stompingly disappointed. How could Venki Mama be so unkind? And lazy too. Wasn't sleeping at night enough? Why did he have to sleep in the afternoon too? The evening stretched interminably before Raghu. Oh, for the river and its coolness! How good it would feel to sit on the rock, his feet dangling in the water, the fish nipping at his toes. He could practice stone skimming, or perhaps shed his clothes and take a dip. By dinner time, Raghu was so annoyed that Venki Mama's legs did indeed look like they were wearing skirts. He was so angry that he was sure he wouldn't be able to fall asleep. But the moment Raghu put his head on his pillow, he felt himself drift away, the images floating in and out as his eyelids closed by themselves. The last thing he heard was chuckling as the adults in the next room talked about Raghu and the clock. But they didn't sound angry, so maybe he was dreaming. The next morning, Raghu woke up with a bitter taste of disappointment still on his tongue. He went to the bathroom to brush his teeth. As he approached, he heard a soft sprinkling. The shower! Raghu listened at the door. Venki Mama was humming. The water flow decreased and Raghu heard hearty slaps and splashes as Venki Mama soaped himself. Raghu paused. His mother and grandmother were in the kitchen. His grandfather was nowhere to be seen. Raghu made the decision in a split second. He ran outside, turned the cowshed tap on and ducked behind the cowshed. That should serve Venki Mama right. At once, Venki Mama bellowed.
Who turned on the cowshed tap? Turn it off! I have soap in my eyes!
Ajja bellowed.
Who turned on the cowshed tap? Why is there no bucket to hold the water?
Ajji bellowed.
In our time, we used to travel 1 kilometer to the river to carry back 3 pots of water. The kids of these days are so used to the luxury of running water that they don't even know the value of.
Amma turned off the cowshed tap and immediately all the shouting stopped. In the silence, she bellowed. Raghu! How did she know? She always knew. She found him. There was that look in her eyes that indicated severe punishment, or worse, a long lecture.
I've had enough of your mischief.
She began. You... Just then, a bullock cart trundled into the yard. Saved.
They are here.
Amma called towards the kitchen.
As for you,
She said, turning to Raghu.
stay out of trouble. Oh, why do I even bother?
Raghu had already rushed out to greet his cousins. The holidays had well and truly begun.